But worst case scenario, we start at 6:29 today.
Okay, this says we are now streaming live.
No good.
Looks bad.
Let's see here. Okay, so that should be up now. And going over to the main screen. Okay, let's see here.
June 28th.
Checking the feed.
2022.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and where is?
Hi, Ed, it's Kathy. I'm just starting a
Could
Zoom.
warm it up a little.
That's okay. Good.
Okay, we are live, so I'm going to prepare to start the process.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, here we go. All right, thank you all for joining the East Springfield Neighborhood Council Board and Police beat meeting for May 18th, 2021. As always, we want to hear from you. You can connect through our website. Our contact information is there. Our contact page is there. We also have our YouTube channel, which all these videos get posted to later tonight or the next day. The Facebook page, which you're all streaming through right now. And also the meetings are recorded and posted to those social sites. So at this point, I'm going to turn the meeting over to our council president, Kathy Brown, and we will go ahead and get this party started.
Good evening. And again, thank you for joining us on the East Springfield Neighborhood Council Beat Management Team and Board meeting. Let us start the evening with our pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, well, again, welcome to the Neighborhood Council and Beat Management Team meeting. We do want to hear from you. We need to hear from you. And as I've said before, your issues are very important. And it's neighbors working together that help us all to improve the quality of life in East Springfield. If you have a particular skill, please contact us if you'd like to share it with us. We're always looking for somebody who is into art, somebody who's into zoning, somebody who takes pictures, somebody who is into accounting. So whatever skill you have and are willing to share with us, please give us a call. We'd love to utilize your talents. I'm going to move along. Our monthly conference call with the Plaza Management, they continue. And we did mention, somebody mentioned that there were some pothole issues, and I do believe those potholes have all been resolved. If anybody still sees any, could you please give us a call? I also have been informed that the Plaza Management has actually contracted with even a different street sweeper, and they are gearing up for more street sweeping inside the plaza. So they are really committed to trying to make it as clean as we can. And now if only people who utilize the plaza wouldn't throw things all over, it would be a whole lot easier for them to keep it. But that's a story for another day. We will be meeting with the plaza on Thursday again. So again, if you have any issues at all, let us know. We'd be glad to share them with the property management. City services, again, continue to operate. 311 is our best approach for getting issues reported or questions answered. Curb appeal, Clean City curb appeal. There's going to be an announcement at the end of the week on Friday from the mayor, and he's going to talk about the city's Clean City efforts and some curb appeal efforts that we're all involved in. So if you want to stay tuned, we'll put that information out as soon as we get more clarity from the mayor. Graffiti, if you see it, please report it. You can call 311. Shopping carriages that are running amok, that people have left around, pick up a phone, call 311. We're really trying to get our street lights, if they're broken, reported. because you can't get them fixed until they get reported. And the people who have to do the reporting are clearly us, you, me, the people who notice them at night not working. Also, I have noticed around the neighborhood, there are many signs, no parking signs, some stop signs that are faded and in some cases missing. If you notice something, please pick up a phone and call, and it will make it a lot easier to get those things taken care of. Sidewalks needing repair and replacement also, please report trip hazards. It would be helpful if all of this came in. I mean, I'm really hoping that as we move forward through the summer, that residents and businesses will pick up the phone and call 311 so that the city can help take care of some of the things that the city is designed to take care of, whether it's street sweeping, whether it's storm drains that are plugged up, broken lights, graffiti. So pick up a phone. That's what our job is to report these items. Okay. The art box distribution is gearing up. We are currently in the process of assembling the couple of hundred art boxes that will be then distributed to people who sign up for them. If you're interested in helping us distribute these, please give us a call. Before the end of May, we're looking to do distribution about the middle of June. We're going to promo this art box project in our newsletter that should land in people's mailboxes just about the middle of June. And our newsletter, as I said, will be mailed early June. And we are still looking for or are interested in any content suggestions that you have. Last time we did the newsletter, we had, I think, 3 people give us a call about something that they thought would be helpful, and we did get those things. We were able to squeeze them into the newsletter. So please, that newsletter is really about us and about the neighborhood and keeping the neighborhood viable. The Mass DOT is going to hold a public input Zoom meeting for improvements for the Tapley Street and St. James Avenue area. That's up by exit 4. And that meeting's going to be a Zoom meeting on May 25th from 7 to 8. We will post the link to get into that Zoom meeting as soon as it's available to us. And we will also post where you can find some of the details of that plan. I don't have it in front of us. We don't have it in front of us yet. Okay. The Kentucky Fried Chicken, as we've said at the last meeting 2 weeks ago, they're interested in locating at St. James Avenue and St. James Boulevard. The representatives did present their application for a drive-up window at our last meeting, which was 2 weeks ago, and Hungry Hill is taking the lead. I'd like to announce that we reviewed the site plan that was available at that meeting, and we had some lively discussion. And the petitioner called me yesterday to indicate, I'm sorry, hold on. This is the police officer, I think, trying to get in. Hold on, I'm sorry. Hi, Giselle, it's Cal.
Hey, Kathy, we muted you during the you just have to click on unmute. Okay. Oh, she's back.
Okay, let me move along with the meeting. And if I get another phone call from the police officer, I will mute, and then I'll try to assist her in getting on to the call. Okay. Anyway, Kentucky Fried Chicken did show us a plan that had one drive-up order area, and they've altered the plan now to include 2 drive-up order areas in order to not have as many cars in the queue. Because there was some concern at our meeting that there would be too many cars in line and that they would flow out to the street. Okay. The marijuana applicants have been notified if they were selected to move forward. 299 Page Boulevard did get notified that they were selected to move forward with their host community agreement, and that was for cultivation. And 732 Cottage Street, which is the corner of Cottage Street and Brookdale, they were notified that they have been selected to move forward with retail facility. Okay. Suboxone Clinic for Cottage Street, that went to City Council last night, and they're requesting a special permit to locate a Suboxone clinic there. That meeting heard testimony and is continued to June 7th, City Council meeting. Drive Like Your Kids Live Here signs are still available. Reach out and let us know if you would like one. And also we have some check your speed signs available that we can make available to you also. The next Check Your Speed event is being planned, and we will announce it as soon as we have a firm date. Okay. Just going to mute for one. Well, all right. The Sector C Community Police Management Team meeting is the next portion of the meeting. John Koski had to step away for a few minutes, so I'm going to turn the meeting right over to Lieutenant Arpin. Lieutenant?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to cover Schedule 1 crime from April 11th to May 8th. There was only, during that period of time, there was one robbery, which was unarmed. It happened at the Bowles School. Apparently, the custodian, who was the victim, exited the school at 11 p.m. after his shift ended. He claims he was jumped and beaten by two white males in the age group of 20 to 25 years old. They got his wallet containing $42, various credit cards, and he is unable to ID, and for some reason he didn't report it till 5 days after it occurred. Don't know why. Moving on to aggravated assaults, there were only two. The first was a domestic, and the second one was, I actually responded to this. It started as a road rage incident over by the academy, the police academy. Well, it didn't start on Woodstock, but this crime happened in Chicopee and in Woodstock. So Woodstock Street, apparently there was a road rage incident. The kid that lived at Woodstock Street was on Royalton. He ends up going to his house. The person that was upset with him confronted him outside. He reached into his car and pulled out a pellet gun. Thought it was a gun at the time. We think it was a pellet gun. He then goes back into his house, and then several minutes later takes a skateboard and goes over to Royalton Street, which happens in Chicopee, the next street over, and he assaults the two subjects with the same gun. He brandishes and points it at them. Then he picks up his skateboard and he runs back home. And in the process, we believe he dropped a part of a BB gun. So we got consent to search from his mother and himself. Kid's name is Brian Roy. He's an adult. I think he's a little slow. So he was summoned into court. We couldn't find a gun. We had video from the academy. We had video from another area. It all shows all these things occurring. but it doesn't show any weapon. So I chose not to make an arrest at that time. I didn't know who to believe on both sides of the story. So we let the judge decide it, and I don't know if it's come about yet and how it's turned out. Then we move on to, there were 3 breaking and enterings. 221 Industry Avenue. There was an attempted B&E and a vandalism. I responded to this one as well. Apparently somebody cut like a perfectly round hole, probably about, I don't know, I would say about 8-inch diameter. And it looked like almost like it was cut with a diamond cut, like a professional thing, but they never got any further than that. And then there was also believed to be happening at the same time, there was a gang Latin King tag spray painted on the side of the building. So we got photos of that, and we're keeping an eye out for that. Again, no entry was made other than just cutting the hole. And that was it's the name of the place on Industry Ave is Greater Springfield Realtor. So it shouldn't be a place that holds any super valuable stealable items. So we don't know if this is just a gang thing or what. Sunday, April 18th, 576 Page Boulevard for B&E building and larceny from a building. That's Fetish Wine and Spirits. Apparently the person opening up the store shows up, enters the side entrance, goes in and proceeds to disalarm or disable the alarm. After that, as she heads towards the front door, she notices the front door lock is shattered, broken on the ground. And as she looked around, you could tell somebody rifled through. Apparently they took cigarettes, some kind of alcohol amount, and some scratch tickets. Claim they had been having alarm problems. So apparently that's why the alarm didn't go off. They actually have video that shows the suspect with a mask and a hooded jacket. He didn't have any gloves, but everything that he handled, he took. So he was meticulous. So they weren't able to get any prints. Everything that he handled, he took. So the video was pretty good in that respect. Then we'll move on to Oakdale Street, to storage lot on April 22nd. Being either the vehicle and a building in a larceny. I think a person was showing somebody something, and then all of a sudden they noticed a hole in the fence that wasn't there before, and then that led to some finding out that someone stole a catalytic converter off a vehicle, also the steering column of that vehicle, engine parts from that vehicle, the hood from that vehicle. They've got a suspect that only goes by the first name of Nico, N-I-C-O, Hispanic male. He's wanted for this because supposedly, I guess he rebuilds Ram trucks, and that's where all the parts were taken off of, was a Ram truck. So either think it's him or somebody acting, to give him the parts. And the name of that company is Truck Buyer Inc. And then moving down, because that was a combination of a theft from a motor vehicle, we only had 2, one being that, what I just went over. And then on April 27th, 1154 Page Boulevard, that's right next door to O'Brien's, that little mart there. I guess it's called the Shamrock Market now. I didn't even know that. So a person stopped, left their car running, of course, unlocked, and went inside. When they came back, they noticed somebody running from the area, but didn't think anything of it. Upon getting in the car, she lost her Gucci clutch bag, which contained about $400. She believed that the woman was running oh, I'm sorry, from the store area lives at 1154. So that's one of those duplexes that we have problems with there. So that 1154 isn't the number of the store, I don't think. And all it was described was a heavy set white female, blonde hair. They showed up at the house. There was an absolute opposite, skinny female with blonde hair. Didn't have any clue as to what was going on or wasn't cooperating. So that's still ongoing. So that's it for Schedule 1 crimes. Going into other arrests and such. There was several more, a lot more domestics. We had one, Page Boulevard, just says near Mass Pike. It was for an OUI, marked lanes violation, unregistered motor vehicle, and negligent operation of motor vehicle. Suspect was Jennifer Johnson, 1231 of 79, and she resides in South Hadley. And then we had, well, I'm going to skip that one. I'll come back to that one. Then there was a guy that was arrested for warrants for rape and OUI at 26 Duria Street. William Jacob Jenny, 823 of 96. Like I said, those were on old incidents warrants. 402 Page Boulevard, assault with a dangerous weapon, violation of a harassment prevention order, threat to commit a crime. And that subject was Yamali Cuffey, who resides at 396 Page Boulevard. So it's a neighbor. Domestic. We had an arrest warrant at 1647 Carew Street. Elage Jordan of 1647 Carew Street was grabbed on a warrant. Doesn't say what it was for. And then I wanted to go over everybody's favorite Fernwald Street location. They had a pretty good, I'm sure you guys are already aware, some of you, that there was a pretty good narcotics arrest. The suspect arrested was Aaron Williams of 1179 St. James Avenue. He's a 23-year-old black male. He was charged with possession to distribute Class A heroin, trafficking in cocaine, 36 or more grams, less than 100, unregistered motor vehicle, uninsured motor vehicle, unlicensed operation of motor vehicle, and possession of a stun gun. So basically this was, I don't think this was narcotics. This looks like this was, it was actually the squad officers. No, I think no, narcotics was involved in it. And they saw a car traveling west on Fernwall Street from Carew Street. And they were sitting there with the lights out and the engine running. So basically, we've been harassing them as much as we can for hanging out there and stuff. And looks like narcotics noticed the vehicle that's a player in other places, and they were able to grab them. And this is what came out of it. So I won't bore you with reading the whole thing unless anybody has any specific questions. It's a rather lengthy report. Other than that, we had for hotspot calls in Sector C, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, looks like 18 calls, and only 2 of those came up with anything, and a report was made on them. One of them was for Dunkin' Donuts, 1287 Page, and the other one was for, again, 85 Fernwald. So something was transpired there to do with drug activity, but didn't lead to arrest or anything. And then lastly, quality of life calls. There was 2, 4, 6, 7, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 20. There were 30 calls for quality of life calls. And out of those, there was only a report made for 190 Brookdale Street involving a suspicious motor vehicle. And that was on April 15th at about 6 o'clock in the morning. And then Fernwald in Baldwin, which is the arrest I'd already mentioned to you, where an arrest was made. That was on 4/22 at 4:30 in the morning. Other than that, everything else was unfounded or advised or canceled or no action required. And that's pretty much all I have for that past time period for Sector C.
Okay. Can I open it up to questions? Are there any police-related questions, please?
So far, actually nothing tonight yet.
Okay.
Maybe go to ordinance. I just put out a last call.
Yep.
Let's see if anything comes in.
Okay. We have with us tonight Officer Madej. She's not a stranger to us. She was our ordinance officer for a period of time, and she's going to pinch hit tonight for Officer Vasquez. Welcome back, Officer Madej. Nice to see you.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
So I'm reading off of my notes.
Okay.
Julio left me some notes here. So going off what the lieutenant was saying, Julio also noted down that he has been doing, he's been monitoring, doing DPRs, obviously working with narcotics, trying to cite the cars that are being parked in Maryland Village the wrong way and stuff like that. Focused basically on Fernwall Street and Baldwin Street. He said he's been doing the noise complaints for Page Boulevard, Walling Street, Curve Street, Codwell Drive, El Paso Street, and Carew Street. He's been monitoring Bowles parking lot, school parking lot for subjects. I guess there was complaints about marijuana smoke.
Mhm.
People smoking in the park. So I guess he's been monitoring that. He's also been monitoring the homeless and suspicious activity at Pottinger School in Marshall Roy. He wrote traffic deployments, Page Boulevard, St. James Ave, St. James Boulevard for speeding, loud mufflers, and Chapter 90 stuff. He's been keeping in touch with Clean City about shopping carts and the illegal dumping, keeping in touch with code enforcement regarding the vacant houses in Sector C. 90 Merida Street, vehicle parked on a tree bell. He was unable to locate the vehicle, but he is monitoring it and waiting to see if he sees it again there. Then he wrote food process truck on Fordham Street. So the company and driver were advised. I guess he called the company and advised the company about the truck being parked on Fordham Street. Obviously, he's been clearing the 311 complaints that everybody's been putting in. I'm sure he gets lots of phone calls because I get lots of phone calls. So I'm sure he's doing what he has to do here. I'm filling in happily. Haven't seen everybody for a long time, so I gladly said yes, so I can say hi. And then he left me the piece of paper so I can write some notes if anybody has any notes for him or any questions that are being asked or anything in particular that somebody's wants a little bit more attention towards, I can jot it down for him. But that's what I got for ordinance.
Well, thank you
Alright,
very
so-
much.
Oh, sorry, Kathy.
No, Sean, did you, Lieutenant, did you have a follow-up?
No, I'm all.
Okay, I'm
all set.
sorry.
I mean,
Okay. I thought you were trying to chime in. Okay, well, are there?
no,
if there
but
are-
I will
ahead.
say something.
Sure.
I did, I actually viewed some videos because we randomly view videos. And when a few of the officers started bothering guys that are hanging out, they weren't hanging out on that lot, but in front of the lot. You know how there's parking there
Mhm.
in front of
You parked
Fernwall?
in Fernwall? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, those guys, if I showed you the video, you wouldn't believe the hard time they gave my guys. Like, and they really can't go any further than that because they didn't have anything on them. You know what I mean? Like, they didn't have unregistered car. They weren't, you know what I mean? There was nothing else, and they gave them a hard time.
Mhm.
So it's an ongoing battle. So
Mhm.
I just want you guys to know that, you know, we are not stopping, you know, making appearances and pissing people off there. So, all right.
Much appreciated, much appreciated.
Yep.
Because, you know, you just drive down that street and you can feel the tone. And it's not a
know.
good one. So we're glad that you guys and gals are there frequently enough to let other people know that you're there frequently.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions from the news feed, Guy? Any
Yeah,
questions?
so a couple things. One, drag racing was big this weekend. Which number should be called to report it? Would that be the main line or 911?
Yeah, I would say 911. I mean, if they're actively dragging, I would say you could call 911. Or the non-emergency line. I wouldn't call 311. You know, that's something that needs to be checked on immediately. So I would say you could go with either way, 911 or the 6305 or 6302, whatever that number is.
Yeah, and
Okay.
there's a non-emergency number up on the screen right now, as it's listed as 787-6300. So that works also.
Yeah. They've changed them around.
I know they have, sir.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's hard to keep up with them. Okay, any other questions?
The other thing was, Deb had asked a question. Oh, 1 second. Can the PD get on speeding and loud cars on Page Boulevard from Two Guys to St. James? I think that's a follow-up to the previous question.
From Two Guys to exit 4 is what she's probably saying.
Yeah, Two Guys to St. James, I believe, is where they're saying that there's possible drag racing.
Okay,
Do they have a specific time?
a specific time?
I know, we went to call the other day. I could hear the drag racing probably around 11 o'clock at night one night. It's very rare that we'll hear it, but if we had the windows open, we can hear it. Like it's loud, don't get me wrong. It just, the side of my house is like crazy insulated. So, but it usually around like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Thank you, Guy.
No problem. And then there was questions about the when live meetings would return. Eventually, based on the guidance, and I don't know if you want to cover this, Kathy, but it's basically, you know, it's not going to be right away, but we're going to do a hybrid once we go back. Did you want to?
Yeah, well,
Cover that.
East Springfield is, we're trying to figure out what is the best approach. We are waiting for guidance. And as Guy said, we're probably going to do a hybrid when we go back because most of the people, if not all of, most of the people on the board certainly are in the at-risk category. So we want to be sure that we err on the side of caution. But we will keep you informed as soon as we know something. And we don't make policies, so we'll let you know as soon as we know something. But please continue to call 911, continue to call the non-emergency number, continue to communicate, because if we lose this communication chain, then we're going to have more to regroup from.
Okay, and then the last thing was if somebody wanted to get extra patrols or attention on their neighborhood for a specific problem, who would they go to? And that would just be calling the main police number again, correct? Or no?
Well, Lieutenant, do you want to take
Depends
that?
on, yeah, it depends on the severity of what the issue is. If it's an ongoing, non-immediate threat, then 311, you know, Julio should be made aware of it. If it's something that is felt needs, you know, immediate attention and something dangerous or something, then obviously, yeah, you would call the 911
Yeah.
line. So it depends again on the level of importance, or, you know, the level of, I wouldn't say importance, the level of severity of, you know, what's needed.
We have such a variety of places that we can call for help, and it is important to try to figure out what's the best place for your given situation. There is, Guy, if you can bounce back that screen again, please.
Oh,
I was gonna refer to it. On the important numbers and tips, there's a number on this sheet that's on the screen that says to request a special attention, and you would call 787-6322. And that's if you want to request that the officers take notice of your particular area when they're driving by for particular kinds of activity. Is that fair, Lieutenant?
Yeah. Also, I would say, you know, if it's something that, you know, is more than like, special attentions are more like kind of keep an eye on this, keep an eye on that, keep an eye on my house, I'm going away on vacation. If it's more of something like an ongoing neighborhood problem, that would be the 311. And then obviously if you're getting into something where it requires immediate criminal interaction or something like that, interdiction by us, then you would go with the not emergency or 911.
Right. Right. And I mean, I think you made it clear, Lieutenant, that, I mean, if it's an emergency, it's 911. If it's a non-emergency, but you really want a police officer to come and address the issue now or soon, it would be the non-emergency police number. 311
Correct.
is to have it looked at the next morning when
Correct.
somebody opens up that computer and sees the request into 311. So
Correct.
sometimes
they
there is
can
confusion.
follow up.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So again, as we learn better what numbers to call, we're able to get more efficient and effective service. So we appreciate the work that you do. Okay, is there another question?
only other thing I'll bring up is somebody had reported back that the drag racing actually usually starts around 10. So it's just the night that I heard it, it was 11, but it probably started before I opened the window.
Okay.
So, and I think that's everything.
Okay, that looks like it's everything. Can I ask, are there any questions from the board on any of the previous topics, the non-police related topics, or we can deal with that a little later? Any clarity? Okay. Lieutenant, do you have anything else, or Officer Madej, anything else?
Nothing.
I would just add one more thing. I know you guys are not, you're not making very many complaints about it, but one of the biggest problems going on in your sector, which we've been trying to address and haven't really caught anybody yet, is the ongoing removal of catalytic converters. And it's very expensive, and it's really, taking a gouge on these companies. So, we've been coordinating. The Midnight Lieutenant has been coordinating and putting out overtime details, and also talking to the businesses, trying to get them to hire. I know he got the bus company over on Berkshire to change their security guards to go till 4 a.m. So I just want to let you know that we're actively working on that. That's a pretty important thing.
All right, Kathy, I know the next meeting is June 1st at 6:30. Is there anything else we want to cover, or? Actually, did we just lose Kathy? Okay, I think we lost Kathy. So, I would say that we will probably end the Facebook Live feed. I saw that somebody had asked about if the city hall was open for walk-ins. You can call 311. I don't believe they're open right now. Zeta had responded with that. So any services you need from the city, go ahead and call 311 and they can let you know how that can be handled.
Okay.
And I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting unless anyone's got anything else.
No, we'll just have the board hang around. And the
Okay.
officers can too if they'd like to. Thank you. I don't know why I froze.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. We'll see you around.